Our library was built for University of Pittsburgh students, for new students trying to familiarize themselves with the city, or for current students looking for something new to do. This library attempts to bring all of this information about things to do and places to go together into a central location. The names of our three collections are museums, restaurants, and study places. The last collection especially shows the usefulness of a digital library like this. If a student is sitting in their noisy dorm room searching the internet for a quiet hangout to study in, the web will show them many results, but deciding if it is an appropriate place to study will largely be guesswork. But with this library, all the documents have been gathered with the needs of college students in mind. So, for example, with the study places, a student can search under that collection and know that each of these places has already been determined to be a quiet place, and at that point, all they have to do is decide which one seems the most interesting or the more likely to be appropriate for them. The collections include objects in various formats, as we'll see, including images, PDFs, and HTML. So to begin with, we're going to quickly look at the librarian interface to see exactly how we built the collections, and then we're going to switch over to the user interface and go through a usage scenario to see how a student or a user might find and locate something in the digital library. All right, so first let's open up, and we're going to go through the museum collection, but all three of the collections are set up almost identically, the exception being that they obviously all have different documents, but the setup and the format is the same. So we're going to open up museums. All right, so here in the Gather tag, we can see the documents we've gathered, and we place them within folders, which, just to help organize the documents, and then also because we would use that these folders within the Enrich tab, as we can see here. Again, here are the folders, and then, for example, like with this folder, we assigned a hierarchy. So here we have museums, then Carnegie Museum of Natural History. You can see the documents within the folder have the same hierarchy created, and that's the same with all these other folders. Museums, Children's Museum of Pittsburgh, Frick Fine Arts, right? So here again, and then here is also real quickly the metadata that we entered for each of them. So then once we had those set up, we went over here to the design tab, and under browsing classifiers, we created a hierarchy classifier, and the base classifier was set to subject and keywords. And as we'll see in a little bit, this created a subjects tab within the user interface, and then displays the folders that we created here for browsing purposes. So once we had done that, we came to the Create tab. We were able to build our collection. And again, as I said, the other collections, restaurants, and study places are set up in the same way. So now we're going to switch over, and here we have the home page for the collections. All right. So again, let's keep with museums, and then let's consider a usage scenario. So, we've got a student, you're new to the area perhaps, and you want to see some of the cultural sites within Pittsburgh. So you remember that you've got the digital library that you had heard about for students. So you come here, you see the collections. Very quickly, you can see here's museums collection. So you would click on museums. All right, so now we have the three tabs: search, titles, and then also subjects. So the student or the user, they could go to search, say they want an art museum, so they could search by art. And here we go. Here we got an art, pull that up, the art document. And we'll go over this document a little bit, but here this shows you what might come up with the search. Titles, of course, they can go through this way. This would include all of the titles, all the documents within the collection. But here's that subjects tab that we had talked about that we created with the browsing classifier. So now we have museums, and we've got this broken down. Art museums, these are the folders that we defined. All right, so let's look at Carnegie Museum of Natural History. And the formatting here for the documents is the same for all the museums. We have images, as we can see here. This will show images of what can be found in the museum. Here we've got another one. And then for each of the museums, we also have here, and so the student they've come to the museum, Carnegie Museum of Natural History, and here they'll find an overview This provides, a description, perhaps the mission of the museum. It also gives them an address, and then we've included as well a link directly to the website. So the user could click on here, they see it, this looks like an interesting museum, and now they're taken directly to the website if they want to learn more about ours, perhaps if they're interested in looking at what exhibits are there, are there any events going on. All right, and real briefly, we can look at if they're also interested in restaurants. Okay, so again, student comes in here, they're looking for restaurants, they're not sure exactly what type of restaurant they're looking for, but they could come in here, and here they find a list of the restaurants that we've included. And Church Brew is the same way. If they find this one, they're going to find the same overview. This will give them an overview, direct link to the website, and then they'll also find here a menu, and we've included a map. So students can easily, they see this as a restaurant, they can look from the website, this is what they're interested in, and right there is a map, so they don't have to go searching for them themselves. They're already included with a map to know where it is. So we believe that this digital library has a lot of potential. It would be quick and easy, as we've seen, for students to find what they need. And of course, it would also be useful to anyone within Pittsburgh, including students of other schools.